Shalom everyone, it's called Torah, and today we will speak about Parashat Vayara, which means that Hashem appeared to Abraham and talked to him. Today I would like to speak about not a contradiction, but it seems to be two different pictures that I would like to confront and to try to understand the message behind them. Last week's Parsha, the Torah ended with the idea of Brit Milah, circumcision. Hashem told Abraham that he would like for him to circumcise himself, his family, and later on, from then time on, every boy who is born to Abraham's family should have a Brit Milah, should have a circumcision at the age of 8 days old. And it seems to be that the entire focus of last week's Parsha is about separation, uniqueness. It's a brit, it's a covenant between you and me, says Hashem to Abraham, between me and your descendants, between me and your family, which gives us the idea that Brit Milah, that circumcision, is an idea that basically take the Jewish people or the Abrahamic family and put them at the side, at the corner, to try to be special and unique. To our surprise, this Parsha, we see that the Torah describes that Abraham sits at the entrance of his tent, kechom hayom, when it's so hot. Why would he sit there? Especially an older person, just went through a procedure that it's definitely not so pleasant. Why does he sit there? And the Talmud says that Abraham was looking for guests. He was looking for people to host. And when he was speaking to Hashem, according to one opinion, he saw those three angels that they didn't seem like angels. He thought that they are like Arabs, and he jumped on them and asked them to come and to be his guests. To the extent that the Talmud says in Shabbat, Kuf Kav Zayin, page 127, that from here you learn that the mitzvah, the commandment to be hospitable, may be even greater than talking to Hashem himself. So when you think about these two pictures from the end of last week's Parsha to the beginning of our week Parsha, we see that it seems to be like a contradiction. Last week's Parsha talks about Hashem and Abraham, Hashem and Abraham's family, the uniqueness of the Jewish people. Where in our Parsha, Abraham goes out of his way to mingle and to reach out to other people. So what exactly is the message here? I would like to suggest two messages. The first is, uniqueness does not mean separation. The fact that we receive the commandment of Brit Milah, of circumcision, and the fact that we are the only ones who have this Brit, who have this covenant, and have this mitzvah, does not mean that we need to detach ourselves from the world around us. It does not mean that we need to hide or to put ourselves in a corner and not to be engaged with the universe around us. Abraham realized that he received something very unique, very special. He is now chosen by God, but not just to lead himself and his own little family, but rather to reach out and to share God's values and expectations with everyone. So there is no contradiction between last week's Parsha to our Parsha. That's exactly what Hashem wants from Abraham. On one hand, you are unique, you are special, you have the circumcision only for you and your family. But at the same time, don't lose sight that I appointed you to be a father of all nations. The second idea is the following. Sometimes we think that in order to have some kind of a divine vision and to talk to Hashem, we need to seclude ourselves and to really restrict ourselves and to limit ourselves and to try to be as righteous as we can in basically putting ourselves in a separate place. But the Torah tells us that Abraham spoke to Hashem while doing a beautiful mitzvah of achnasat orchim, of accepting and bringing home the guests. The way to listen to Hashem's voice and to Hashem's expectation is not necessarily through separation, but rather engagement in chesed, in kindness, in nice gesture to other people. When Hashem decides that He wants to share with Abraham what He is about to do to Sodom and Gomorrah, Hashem says, Ki yeda'ativ, because I know him. Asher yetzaveh et banav, that he will command his children. La'asot tzedakah u'mishpat, to perform justice and charity, kindness to others. We, as the descendants of Abraham, have dual responsibility. On one hand, we need to make sure that our descendants, our families, our community, our nation is strong, steady, faithful. And at the same time, we should never lose sight to engage with others, to bring them closer, to reach out to other people, and to share God's values with the world around us. Thank you.